Love music, love talk, love Wycombe Sound.
Monday Movies on Wycombe Sound 106.6 FM.
Welcome back. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? You're a good boy. Yes, you are.
Hello and welcome to the Monday Movies podcast.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, I'm here with my friends, Tobi and the Otters.
Oh, and I'm here with my little poodle. It's not a poodle, sorry, it's a sausage. Is it a sausage dog?
I don't
what
know.
Are you?
What dog?
What's your name?
Wait.
He's
gone.
I think it's a Dachshund.
I think it is, yeah.
Long-eared Dachshund.
How are we all doing on this
Very,
first
very well.
Monday of August?
Yeah.
8 months into the year.
Where does the time go?
I mean, me and Toby were talking about this at the end of drive time, but you would think on a year where we were locked down for 3 months, couldn't do anything really for 3 months, that the year would go quite slowly. But actually, it's gone really quickly. Like we were saying a couple of weeks ago, No Time to Die, the song, was out in February.
Sorry. I thought you said, but time has gone so quickly, I've had no time to dye my hair.
No, Toby has. But that came out in February. That feels like it was a year ago.
Do you know, Toby dyeing his hair seems like last year.
It does. It really does.
It does. Seems like a long time ago.
You having a beard?
If you look back, it's actually terrible. No.
Oh, you walked into that one.
Visual humour on the radio.
On the podcast, yeah, well done.
Honestly,
For people
if you
listening to
look
the
back,
podcast, I just turned round.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Sorry, what were you saying, Toby?
It looks awful. My girlfriend sent me a picture the other day. It was terrible.
It did. Yeah, we agree.
Well, no. At the time you're like, yeah, it looks good, yeah.
We were being
of course.
nice.
But, you know, inside we were dying for you.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Oh, God.
Why would he do that?
Right, can we get this party started? Because I need to get to the end because we've got things to talk to Toby about.
Let's get on with it then. After
Okay.
Duncan's dog says something.
Welcome to the show. Hello and good evening. This is Duncan Strip on Wycombe Sound 106.6 FM with Toby Stubbs and Luke Davis. This is Monday Movies. If you want to get involved, you can. You can email mondaymovies@wycombesound.org.uk. You can go to facebook.com/Wixo Monday Movies. We're on Twitter at Wycombe Sound. You can call us on WhatsApp 01494449900, or you can watch us live in glorious Technicolor with added dogs and otters. And Luke, where can they find us?
I pressed the wrong button, so facebook.com/Wixo Monday Movies, and you can also watch it on the Wycombe Sound YouTube channel, youtube.com/Wycombe Sound.
Excellent. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
How are we?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Not bad.
I'm very well, thank you. How are we enjoying the new relaxed, confusing lockdown measures?
I
All
think
good?
the same as before.
Well, you don't know what the hell's going on.
Pretty
Is that
much,
basically
yeah.
it?
Oh, and good start. There goes Duncan. Oh, he's back again.
Technical issues already. This doesn't bode well at all, does
good
it?
start with Toby.
But in exciting news, cinemas opened
Hurrah!
on Friday. Bowling alleys, of course, and casinos were going to open on Saturday, but they were told they couldn't. But cinemas do stay open. And so I actually went to the cinema, to a proper actual cinema.
Proper actual cinema?
To see a film on a big, big screen.
What was it like?
It was much the same as when I used to go before, because I always go early on a Saturday and there's never anybody there anyway.
Do you know what that deserves?
What? The one difference was I felt as though I couldn't cough.
Yeah. I've been told off for
everybody coughs a lot in the cinema. Just clear your throat. And there's a couple of times I wanted to clear my throat, and there was 3 or 4 people just behind me, not just behind me, but in the cinema. And I thought, no, I can't cough.
When I've been out in shops or just out anywhere, and I've sort of cleared my throat or coughed or sneezed because of hay fever, I have been glared at by my other half.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I went shopping on Sunday and I walked into Waterstones. And
Did you go through the door afterwards, or were you just knocked out after that?
What's that?
Because you walked in to. Never mind, carry on.
Okay. And everyone was staring at me. Everyone was looking around and staring at me. And I thought, I've still got it. But it wasn't that. It wasn't that at all. I'd forgotten to put my mask on. Oh, I felt so bad.
Did you have it with you?
Yes, I'd been in other shops, but I was taking it off as I was going in and out. Shouldn't do that. Just leave it on.
Just
a
leave
lot
it
of
on.
people are just leaving it on.
Well, you're not meant to touch it when it's on.
No. Oh, okay.
So.
Toby, I imagine you've got a really trendy mask.
I don't actually.
Toby says listen to 12-hour avenues on the front of it.
Do you know what?
Not anymore.
we thought about We thought about getting some masks, but we haven't done so far. But funny enough,
I wonder why.
I was just about to order. Some.
Okay.
More, so
Good. Excellent.
Yeah.
More? I've only got one.
well, no, because obviously you can only use the
Reusable ones.
normal ones. Yeah, once or twice. So
I have a cloth one.
yeah, I need to get like a washable one that I can just wash and
Yes,
stuff,
you
so.
do. Or just make one from an old sock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very good video
Or a
online. how to do
t-shirt.
it.
Yeah.
I don't have a bandana. I was going to try and use a bandana.
Well, yes, it doesn't have to be a mask. You can just use a bandana or a scarf. You can just put a scarf
I've
up
got
and-
one of those. I don't know what they're called.
What do they do?
Like sports
Let's
people
help.
wear them to like.
I'm sorry.
Gum-
sorry.
gum-
Whoa. Let's hold it right there. Let's
I
hold it right
didn't
there.
buy it. I should
Luke
point out.
has something that a sports person wears. Is it an athletic support?
No,
A bandage.
I was given it, but it's like you know when like people are wearing helmets,
Yes.
so, like, and then they have like a material.
visor? No.
No, I'll get it for later.
Okay, I dread to think what kind of sport it is you think these people use. But, anyway, let's kick off with something a little bit different.
What's that?
We've been asking people if they want to, they can send in their audio reviews.
Yes.
Just record them on their phone and send them. One of our regular listeners, Brian Levine, has gone one better
What's he
because
done?
since lockdown, he's been recording music.
Wow.
And
Okay.
he's going to do it all the time now. He's actually got a band name and everything. So maybe you can give him some tips, Toby. So he's actually sent us one of his songs, which I said we would play. So here, for your listening pleasure, is Silver Jubilee Playground, London.
The lights come on in London town. I walk the streets, there's no one round. So much to do in town today.
That is Silver Jubilee Playground and London. Can't play it all, unfortunately, otherwise we get into serious problems on the podcast. Do we not, Luke? We have to,
They say you're
Yes, thank you very much. But there we go. So people have been doing something. He's one of those annoying people that has done something creative in lockdown, which I have done nothing. Have you done anything, Luke, creative?
I've just been constantly doing the radio stuff, so
Well, that's creative, I suppose. And Tobi, we know, and listeners to the podcast will know that Tobi has been doing very creative things
Very
during
creative,
lockdown,
yeah,
and we'll
yeah.
be discussing that later in the podcast extras.
Before we move on to
losing friends and influencing people.
before we move on to the film stuff, I found the thing that I was talking
Yeah.
about, and it's
Okay,
like
that's nice.
It's you put it in. It's obviously Wycombe Sound branded, but like it, so you can wear it as a. Toby, you're still muted, by the way. And you can wear it either as something to protect your head, or you can put it on your neck. I can't think what they're called though. Toby might know.
It looks like a snood.
might be.
It looks like a snood.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Toby.
Is it under a like a ski mask? That
Yeah,
kind of thing?
under a ski mask, or there's
Yeah.
like you can wear them like different ways.
Yeah. Okay. You know that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a very
Okay.
good idea.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, fascinating stuff. So,
I know.
10 minutes in and not a movie been mentioned. It's
Good.
very exciting. Anyway, this is Monday Movies. If you want to send us an audio review, you can. If you want to send us music, if you've made some music, why not?
Why not?
Joe? So why
Exactly.
not? You can send it to mondaymovies@wycomesound.org.uk. Should we talk film news?
We probably should.
There isn't a lot.
Oh.
There is a little bit of rumour. So the new rumour is that the James Bond film, No Time to Die, now won't be released until 2021.
I'm not surprised by that.
No.
I kind of knew. Yeah.
It's very disappointing, though.
I think 2021 is going to be a big year.
There's gonna be a lot of stuff out.
A lot of everything's been postponed to it. So next year will be a busy year. There'll be everything coming out.
Hmm.
Whereas, I guess we just have to look forward to next year. You know.
Yeah.
On the plus side, Tenet is still out this month.
Hooray! Hooray
3
for
weeks.
something.
That's good.
3 weeks' time. 3 weeks on Wednesday, Tenet comes out. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
Sorry.
Especially as I don't work Wednesdays.
Even better for you then.
That's why they did it.
Question. Sorry.
Tell me what you think about.
Oh, I haven't got that up. But tell me what you think about. Oh, you've got it there.
Okay.
Is Empire open as well? I don't actually.
Wycombe one is not open yet.
No, it wasn't when I went past at the weekend.
Because that's
so,
my
no.
go-to. So
Yes.
I really want to go and see Tenet. So
I'm not sure when the Wycombe one will open, but our tip-top production team are on the case now, and they will find out when that opens. Okay. But so that is the rumour. Some very bad news, or sad news, on Friday is that the British film director Alan Parker passed away at the age of 76. He hadn't made a film for nearly 15 years, I think, and he didn't make a huge amount of films during his career, and he was never as well regarded, I didn't think, as some of his contemporaries, but every film he made was almost a masterpiece. He hardly had a duff film in his repertoire. He did 3 brilliant musicals. One of his first films, Bugsy Malone. Yeah. He made the original Fame. 4 musicals, actually. The Commitments, which is a brilliant film, which was his, and Madonna's Evita was one of his. But he also made stuff like Midnight Express, and his best film, one of the best films ever made, actually, is Angel Heart. Have either of you seen Angel Heart?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Mickey Rourke and Robert De Niro. I'm gonna, if we can find if it's streaming anywhere, we will do that as a review, because it is a brilliant film and deserves to be watched. But yeah, he made some brilliant films, and it's very sad. But I'd say he had been retired for about 15 years. He hadn't made a film.
I mean, Bugsy Malone is a classic film.
Yes, it is. Funnily enough, not very well known in America.
And do we know why that is? Or
no, I don't know why that is, but it's not very well known in America.
Oh, that's interesting, because I would say that's you know.
I mean, it's a very American film, but obviously it was filmed here. But yeah, not very well known.
That's very interesting, Duncan.
Oh, I forgot there was another musical that he did, Pink Floyd The Wall. He directed that as well. So he actually did 5 musicals in his career.
I mean, Evita was massive as well, so you know.
Yeah.
It's a sad loss.
And his most underrated film, and probably the best film about divorce that's ever been made.
Is there many about divorce?
Oh, lots of films about divorce, yeah. Was Shoot the Moon, starring Albert Finney and Diane Keaton from 1982, which is a brilliant film. But again, very rarely do you see it anywhere. Do you know what I mean? It's very rarely shown.
Well, you know.
So maybe now that he's passed away, there'll be a retrospective of his career. But yeah, very sad news.
Very, very sad.
Because he's 76, not old these days.
Not these days, no. User left your channel. And Duncan has disappeared into the ether again. But yeah, very sad news. I'm guessing you enjoyed Bugsy Malone, Toby?
I did, yeah. We had to do it at school. We did the play at school.
Oh, of course, right, okay.
So I had to watch it quite a few times. So I did enjoy that film. It was very, very
good. Duncan.
Good.
Welcome back.
Excellent. Thank you. Sorry, technical issues, but we're trying to sort them as subtly as possible. Failing, probably.
Failing miserably, but yeah.
Yeah. So I think that is all the film news, actually.
Oh,
I don't think there is anything else. There was one other thing which made me smile that was in the news this morning. Andrew Lloyd Webber has had his say about Cats.
Oh, now, yes, I saw this.
Obviously, Cats wasn't well received, shall we say. If you fancy watching it, it's very cheap on Sky Store at the moment. I think you can watch it for $1.99. So maybe on a Saturday night after a few lagers, it's the kind of thing you might want to watch. But he says it's ridiculous. And apparently the reason was the director, Tom Hooper, wanted no contact with any of the creative team of the original stage show when he made it, which I think is an error.
I mean, if Doctor Who can do better looking cats than a multi-million pound budget film, you know, there is a big worry there.
Yes. But yes, he wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
But then none of us were.
No one were, you know. No.
One other piece of film news. We touched on it last week, but now it's been confirmed. Idris Elba confirmed at the BAFTAs on Friday.
It's a Friday.
That the Luther movie is happening.
Ooh.
Big fan of that.
Big fan of Luther, yeah.
Which we've discussed last week, and I still haven't watched any Luther.
Give it a go.
I need to give it a go. Do we know if it's streaming anywhere?
I would imagine it will be on the iPlayer.
I think it's on Netflix. I'll check for you now. The last time I saw it was on Netflix.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I would imagine it's probably also on the iPlayer as well, because pretty much everything BBC is now on the iPlayer.
Because The Fall is also now on on Netflix, and I never watched The Fall either, and everyone said how good that was with Gillian Anderson and Jamie Dornan. Is that him?
That's his name,
50 Shades of Grey, yeah. apparently that was really good, and I never watched that. So there's a couple of things. And to be honest, we need more things to watch because we're running out.
Unfortunately, they've taken Luther off Netflix. So it's not on there.
It's probably on the iPlayer.
It's probably on the
probably
iPlayer,
is,
let's be
yeah.
honest. Yeah.
Fingers crossed, eh? Fingers crossed.
yeah.
But yes, a Luther movie is on the way. I'm not sure whether you've watched it then, Tobi. Did it finish on a cliffhanger or something? Is this going to carry something on, or do you think this is going to be something brand new, or just like a new case?
Do you know what? I can't even remember. It's been such a long time. I can't even remember.
Luther is available on the iPlayer.
I think. Well, they'll either continue it on, or they'll do a prequel or something.
I mean, I think Luther's a bit like Sherlock. Really, they sort of wrap up the story in that series, but there is also people that pop up. I can't think of who it is in Moriarty pops up in other series, and it's a bit like that.
I don't think it was left on a cliffhanger from what I can remember.
No, I don't remember either.
So they can kind of go anywhere with it, really. I think the storyline of the film.
And because there's 3 seasons of Luther, isn't it? And is it a through story across 3 seasons, or is that 3 separate stories?
I think I just said that, Duncan.
Did you? I wasn't listening.
Thanks.
I do apologise. Sorry.
I said it's a bit like Sherlock. So they have their own.
What starts out good, and by the 3rd season you couldn't care less.
No, it has its own individual storylines, but there's characters that crop up during it.
Yeah,
I see. Okay, good. Okay. Good to know. I will watch it then for next week. How's that?
Sounds good.
Well, I'll watch season 1 maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's not go mad.
No.
Just season 1. Coming up for the rest of the show, we're going to have a review of Unhinged, which is a new film that is actually out at the cinemas.
At the where?
At the cinema. You remember those big places with huge screens? You used to go and watch films. They're back.
What?
The pictures. That's very old-fashioned.
The pictures. Wow.
That's what I used to call it, going to the pictures. But I don't know. I think I go to the movies now.
Yeah, you go to the movies.
Go to the movies.
I go to the cinema. I don't even go to the movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There was another film out theatrically as well, which was Proxima, which I'll be reviewing next week, but Claire has reviewed for us. She went to see it at Cineworld earlier this week, and she sent us a review for that, so we will be viewing that. We'll also be taking a look at Down to Earth, the new kind of travel / how would you describe it? Just a travel documentary or a travel and wellness documentary?
Travel and wellness.
Travel and wellness documentary. Sorry?
Purpose documentary.
Purpose.
Yeah, like our purpose as humans and how we can
right.
Okay.
live and
well-being.
And well-being.
Well-being.
That's better. That's much better.
That's deeper than I thought. And also, we were going to be reviewing Fear City on the recommendation of Mr. Tobi Stubbs, but Tobi didn't bother to watch it.
Not that I didn't bother. I just didn't get time. But it's we're going to talk about it next week. So that's
me and Luke may talk about it this week.
Yeah,
who knows?
In your face.
Welcome back to Monday Movies here on Wycombe Sound 106.6 FM. Duncan Strip here with you, along with Tobi and Luke. Maddie's been doing sterling work for us, has she not?
She has.
She's doing very good work in sending us reviews, and she's reviewed something this week. We've just been having a quick discussion off air as to whether we're allowed to say the title of this programme. It's a very well-known programme. It's a Canadian comedy that stars Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara, and it's SCHITTS Creek.
Yes.
Now, we've not listened to this, so Maddie is now going to review it. Whether she says the title of the programme or not, let's find out together.
Hi, Duncan. Well, from the heights of Mrs. America and All My Agent, this week I thought I would review a series that I have just started watching. It's been recommended to me by several people, and it's on Netflix, and it's called Schitt's Creek, SCHITTS'. Schitt's Creek, and it's a series. I have watched 6 episodes, and I had a look, and I see actually there are 80 episodes, which rather gobsmacked me. I'm thoroughly enjoying it at the moment. I hope it can sustain the comedy, because the comedy is great. I love the characters. It's a simple story, at least so far, about a family once super wealthy who discover, as so often happens in real life, that their accountant has completely defrauded them of everything they possess, and they end up living in a rundown motel in Schitt's Creek, which is their one possession. The dad bought it as a joke for his son, I think, on his 21st birthday, just because he thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool to buy him a whole town? And that's what he did. So they end up living, as I say, in this rundown hotel, and it's all about the people they meet. Clearly, their lifestyle has to take a huge knock. And as I say, I've only watched 6 episodes so far. I have laughed out loud at every single episode. I'm hoping that I can sustain 80 episodes. And that got me on to thinking about other series that maybe they should have finished a little bit earlier. Maybe they're 1 or 2 series too far. And I said to you, had you watched The Good Place? And you have. And I've watched The Good Place and absolutely loved it. But I agree with you that the first few series were better than the last one. Still great. Very, very clever. Some great performances. But yeah, maybe it should have finished a little bit sooner than it did. I guess a lot of people have already seen The Good Place. It's on Netflix. It's been around a long time. Basic concept is that people die and appear to go to the good place, heaven, whatever you want to call it, and it's all about how they discover the truth about where they are, who everybody is, all of that. Highly recommend it. And then finally, another series that I absolutely loved for the first maybe 4, Friday Night Dinner. It was Channel 4. I think it's now on Netflix as well. I should have checked. Friday Night Dinner, about a family in London with 2 grown-up sons who come home on Friday night. It's a Jewish family. They come home on Friday night, every Friday night, to have dinner with their parents. And the first 4 series, certainly hysterically funny, very, very well observed, great humour. Paul Ritter is out in it. He's really, really good. And then it became a bit, we've seen this joke before, reworking the same sort of jokes. And so that was a bit disappointing. Again, absolutely love the first 4 series, recommend that, but maybe don't worry about giving the last couple of series a miss. Just checked, and the first 2 series of Friday Night Dinner are up on Netflix. So definitely watch those, see what you think. And I also should have said earlier, that both The Good Place and Schitt's Creek are up for awards, Emmy Awards in the States, in the Outstanding Comedy category, as well as some individual actor nominations as well.
Oh, thank you very much, Maddie. Apologies for any of the noise distortion you may have heard during that, but Tobi left his microphone unmuted so we could hear lots of different stuff happening in his bedroom, which is obviously very exciting for you ladies out there. So that was Maddie reviewing The Good Place, Schitt's Creek.
There's no one here.
Okay. The Good Place, Schitt's Creek, and Friday Night's Dinner. I've got to say, I've watched the first half of the first series of Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, we should point out that's SCHITTS.
Yeah.
Place.
And I quite enjoyed it, but not enough to carry on.
I've seen the preview for it on Netflix because, again, we'd heard loads of people going, you need to watch it. And it was a bit like,
I mean, it's got great reviews, and it was nominated for Emmys this week as well, so it must have something about it, but it wasn't quite good enough to hold my attention. The Good Place, I've watched all 4 seasons, very good, highly recommended, but as Maddie said, the first couple of seasons are better than the last 2, but even so, the last 2 are still funny. Friday Night Dinner, I've only ever watched a couple of episodes, and it doesn't appeal to me.
No, it doesn't appeal to me either. I've watched seen clips of it on Channel 4, and again, it doesn't appeal to me at all.
Tobi, have you seen any of those?
I've seen Friday Night Dinner. It does appeal to me.
You child.
I do find it funny, and I think some of the writing is great. But for me, it just gets a bit too repetitive. Every Friday night, the dad takes his t-shirt off, and obviously you know the dinner doesn't go to plan, and then the guy comes around with his dog. It's just a bit repetitive for me personally, but I still would watch it if someone wants to.
There's a good act if you can get a joke that you can do over and over again and is still very funny, then you've done excellently well.
Exactly.
That is Luke's theory for drive time. Just do the same thing over and over again. Eventually, people will find it funny.
Yeah.
Just quickly going back to the Creek show.
Yes.
Would you? So, I mean, if I saw something and I saw there's 80 episodes, would that put you guys off? Is that a bit daunting?
Well, New Girl is so it was 21 episodes for 7 series, I think, and then the last series was 7, and I watched it in a month and 10 days.
So you didn't think, whoa, there's a lot of episodes?
Because if you're enjoying it, then it doesn't matter, does it?
True.
Really?
Very true.
A lot of those, Creek. It's a half-hour American comedy. Am I not being heard?
You are dropping in and out, but you're back now.
Hitch Creek is a half-hour American TV comedy, which means each episode is probably only 22 minutes long.
Yeah.
So you're only looking at it's not so bad. If they were hour episodes, that would be quite off-putting.
Yeah, again, New Girl, Girl was only about half an hour long, so it wasn't that was bad.
Yeah. Anyway, Maddie is becoming the highlight of the show every week, so keep them coming, Maddie, because you're watching a lot more than Toby and Luke. Maybe we should have Maddie on the show, and Toby can just phone one in every now and again. What do you think? Maybe that's the way forward. Should we talk about something new?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, at the cinema. So, Saturday afternoon, ventured to Cineworld to watch Unhinged with Russell Crowe. I know, it's very exciting.
Did you wear a mask the whole time?
No, because you don't need to wear a mask the whole time until the 8th of August, and then you will need to wear a mask the whole time.
There's a timer on the screen.
No, it's Cineworld are recommending at the moment. They would like you to keep it on for the whole time, but it's not mandatory until the 8th, and that's when it becomes mandatory for anywhere inside. So you've got another week. Like I said, it wasn't much different to a normal Saturday because they're never that busy when I go there, so it wasn't too bad. So the social distancing wasn't a problem. They've got the hand sanitizing stations. They haven't got any seats physically blocked out.
Okay.
You can't sit in.
They're
telling you that you can book online, and if you try and book certain seats, it will come up as not available. But there's nothing, even online, it doesn't show you which ones you can't book.
Question.
So, tell me what you think about me.
Food and drink. How does that work?
Oh, yes, please. Oh, I see. They're still selling it.
Interesting.
Including popcorn that they scoop up and the ice cream, which...
I mean,
it seems a bit odd.
I feel like anything that you have to scoop up where you might not go to touch it, but your hand might scrape. Are they wearing gloves?
Yes, but let's face it, the popcorn is open to the air. So if someone's behind the counter and have a cough, the droplets land somewhere. So I'm very surprised they're not just selling food in packets and bags.
Bags of popcorn? How hard is that?
I know, exactly.
Did people bring their own stuff in, or didn't you really see it?
Well, you're never allowed to do that, really. So
I know.
Well, you never were. But on one of their tweets, it did say, but as usual, we encourage people to bring their own food and drink. So obviously, I don't know whether it was a misprint.
Oh.
But they're saying you can. But anyway, it was fine for me because there wasn't many people there. What it's like if there's no films in there at the moment that are going to be busy, I don't think.
No, I think
it will be like.
From what I've seen on social media over the last couple of weeks, over the weekend, when people were going to see 4 or 5 films over a weekend, it did seem pretty empty, and I think that's again because it's like. You've got Back to the Future and Star Wars, and you haven't got any big films out yet.
There's no big films that going to have people queuing up to see. So anyway, the first film back was Unhinged, starring Russell Crowe. It's his big comeback film because he hasn't been in anything for quite some time. This stars Karen Pistorius as Rachel. She is a single mother living with her kid, her brother, and his girlfriend. They're having trouble making the rent. She's just found out that she's probably going to lose her job, and she's having trouble with her ex-husband. She sets off to work. She's late. She's got to drop her kid off at school. She comes to some traffic lights, and the car in front doesn't move when the traffic lights turn green. So she slams her hand on the horn, He still doesn't move, so she drives around and shouts at him as she goes past. The person that she goes past is Russell Crowe. Now, whether he's wearing a fat suit in this, I don't know, but Russell Crowe is huge at the moment.
Okay.
If this is actually him, he's very big. He decides after that to chase her down, finds her in another traffic jam, parks beside her, asks her to apologise, asks her why she didn't do the courtesy, instead of going, apparently you're supposed to go, as a reminder that you're supposed to move off. She refuses to apologise, says she's having a bad day and he should leave her alone, to which he says, you don't know what a bad day is, but I am going to show you. And the rest of the film, it's only 90 minutes, the rest of the, say, 70 minutes of the film is him chasing her down in his car and making her life hell, finding her friends because he steals her phone and killing them one by one until she does what he says. Now,
I did not see that coming.
Did you not?
No.
So the Unhinged of the title is
Russell
Crowe's character. Now, the two films it brings to mind is Steven Spielberg's Duel, which was about a car being chased by a lorry, and you never saw the driver of the lorry. It was just a blank screen basically on where the windscreen would be, and he's being chased. And the other film is Michael Douglas' film Falling Down, in which he's having a bad day and he goes a bit nuts. The difference between those films and this one is you're never given any reason to sympathise with Russell Crowe. He starts off as an unhinged lunatic. I mean, it starts off, the opening scene of the film, which is the previous night, is him at 4:30 in the morning, shall I say, outside somebody's house, we don't know who, where he gets out of his car, he breaks down the door with an axe, kills the two people in the house with the axe, set fires to the house and drives off. So that's your opening scene. That's the opening 3 minutes of the film. Right. And then the next time you see him, he's threatening this woman with violence. So you're never given any reason to sympathise with him. No. There's absolutely nothing. So with Michael Douglas in Falling Down, you sympathise with him because you know what he's going through. In this case, he is just unhinged and he wants to kill her.
Is that why it's called Unhinged?
That's why it's called an Unhinged, yeah. So on the plus side, it's fairly well made. The chase scenes in the cars are quite exciting, and there's a couple of really good car crashes which work really well. Russell Crowe does grumpy, unhinged person very well.
I like Russell Crowe.
To be honest, I don't think that's far from his actual personality.
No, I know Russell Crowe. No, I think Russell Crowe's really nice.
Really?
Yeah, from what I've seen, and heard, he's a really nice person.
I mean, he was taken to court years ago for throwing a mobile phone at his assistant's head.
Fair enough. Okay, maybe, maybe not then.
And Karen Pistorius as Rachel is a very gutsy female lead, so that's quite nice. And it's put together. It's nuts and bolts, but it's put together well. It's 90 minutes long, so it's nice and short and compact. On the negative side, like I said, you're given no reason to sympathise with him. You don't know why he's doing it. And there's no resolution that makes you understand why he's doing it. I don't know where it's filmed, but it's supposed to be America, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't America where it was filmed. Right. And I wanted to try and find out where. I'm pretty sure it was filmed in. It looks like South Africa.
Oh, okay.
I'm not actually sure. If I could find out, I would, but I can't.
It's a weird thing to do.
And I think I was slightly more lenient with it because I was back in a cinema, and I actually, walking up the steps to the cinema, I actually got goosebumps going back to the cinema.
Do you know what? I thought you were about to say I cried.
No, but it was. I just thought, yes, going to the cinema. So I think on a normal week, 6 months ago, we would have dismissed this as just another.
You've got nothing to compare it to either.
No, but the fact that I was back in the cinema watching a film with car chases and explosions, I found it enjoyable.
You were happy.
Yeah. To be honest, if Russell Crowe wasn't in the lead, this would go straight to DVD or straight to streaming.
Okay.
Because it does look like that kind of film. But I found it enjoyable.
Good.
There you go.
Out of not said this in a long time when it comes to a film, out of 10.
Well, you say it every week, just not for theatrical films.
That's what I meant.
Are you going to make a note in your little notepad?
I might do, yes. I've not done that in ages either.
I'm going to give it 6.
Not bad.
I mean, it probably is a 4.
But you're happy to be back.
I was just happy to be back, and I was just happy to be sat there being fairly entertained by a no-brainer thriller.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Good.
There you go.
There is another film out at cinemas this week, which I didn't get to see, which I will review next week, and that's Proxima. But we have got a review from Claire Sherman, who went to see
Tell
it for us. As Claire says, I went to Cineworld yesterday. Not yesterday. When would that have been? Friday. To see Proxima, a new space drama starring Eva Green and Matt Dillon. Eva Green plays Sarah, an astronaut in training who has to balance her rigorous training schedule with being a mother to her 8-year-old daughter. This is not a sci-fi film, and all the action takes place on Earth, but Sarah's preparations for space are a clear metaphor for her increasingly distant relationship with her daughter. Zélie Boulon, apologies for the pronunciation, is fabulous as her insecure daughter. Matt Dillon is passable in the role of the token sexist who comes round. The role probably didn't give him much scope. It's beautifully shot and it held my attention. There are some subtitles as there is dialogue in English, French, German and Russian. I'd recommend it as a thoughtful alternative to some of the old films being shown at the moment. Very true, because if you want to watch something new, your choices are Unhinged and Proxima. There's nothing else apart from old films. And she makes a very good point at the end, which I was going to mention as well. She says, arrive at the cinema on time because there are few, if any, ads or trailers at the moment.
I know you asked Cineworld, didn't you? And you kind of got a reply a few hours after.
I got a reply after I'd come back from the cinema, but there were no adverts and no trailers before the film I saw. So it didn't start exactly on time.
No.
But instead of starting 25 minutes after the start time that's advertised, it was about 7 minutes. So yeah, you do need to get there on time if you're watching something at the cinema. But there we go. Proxima and Unhinged.
Actual films.
Actual films and actual cinema.
Crazy
How very
times.
exciting. I mean, nothing brilliant.
No.
Obviously. But in 2.5 weeks' time, fingers crossed, we have got Tenet.
Wow. How long have we been saying that for?
We've been saying it for a long time, but it is now on the Launching Films website, which means it should be coming out. And you said this is the first of the new series of Monday movies instead of Monday No Movies.
It's a continuation of Series 2.
I've got to tell you, it's looking very thin on the ground. Not sure what's actually coming to Wycombe, but next week there's only one release. That's the new Seth Rogen comedy, An American Pickle. The week after that, there is probably nothing. Oh, Baby Teeth, which is a new art house film, but it's unlikely that's going to come to Wycombe. There's nothing else.
Oh, dear.
And after that,
Nothing.
we're basically waiting for Tenet on the 26th.
Come on, Tenet.
And I think that's going to be the litmus test as well, because if Tenet doesn't do well, any film that's got its release date after that is going to think about moving it if the box office isn't good for Tenet. So yeah, Tenet is the litmus
Do
test.
you think it's going to be good? Sorry, going to be good? Going to get a good box office? Do you think it's going to get a good box office, Duncan?
Yes, but not the box office that it would have got.
No, I mean obviously they're not going to get the box office they're going to get.
Yeah, but I think it will be good, and I think probably the good thing is it will stay in cinemas an awful lot longer than it would have done.
That's
so
true.
you're going to have a lot more chance to watch it on the big screen. So there won't be that big gap between the cinema release and the VOD release, because it will be there probably for a few months. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Tenet isn't still in cinemas at Christmas.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah. But we will see.
We will see.
We'll let you know what we're reviewing next week if there's anything at the cinema when we know. But coming up, we're going to be reviewing Down to Earth with Zac Efron. Welcome back to Monday Movies here on Wycombe Sound 106.6 FM. Now, our listeners went through the roof just before that break.
Why is that?
Hundreds of women tuned in because I said we're going to be reviewing Down to Earth with Zac Efron. I've had to message them all to say I didn't mean with him. That's the name of the show. I'm actually reviewing it with Luke and Tobi, and they've all gone. So I apologise. But
You're a funny man, aren't you?
Oh, I do my best. Why I haven't been on Chatsworth yet, I do not know.
No idea.
Do you?
I don't.
And talking of Chatsworth, coming up after the news at 8 o'clock, Chatsworth is here with Mr. Colin Besley, and he joins us now to tell us what's coming up.
Thank you very much. Yes, good evening. Good evening to you all. Great to be with you once again, of course. Before you ask, lamb leg steaks is what I had for tea. More importantly than that, I've just discovered that on mid-mornings on Wednesday, I'll be chatting to Kimberly Wyatt. I know, celebrity MasterChef winner and Pussycat doll about cooking. So very much looking forward to that. Thank you for having me. Enjoy the rest of your programme.
Thanks, Colin.
Thanks, Colin.
Thank you, Colin.
Oh, actually, Colin, quickly, before you go,
God, here we go.
what do you think of the show?
This is painful.
It's a bit rude, isn't it?
Okay. Any more?
Do you have any questions for him?
What do you think of my presenting style?
Ew, crepe.
That's hardly relevant, Colin, but okay. Generally, yes, that's what people think of me. Yeah, all right, let's shut him up, shut the door. Colin is here with Chatsworth after the news at 8 o'clock. Let's talk about something new, shall we?
What should we talk about?
Let's talk about Down to Earth with Mr. Zac Efron. So this is available on Netflix. It's an 8-episode travel series / documentary wherein Zac Efron travels around the world with wellness expert Darren Ollian in search of healthy, sustainable ways to live. Where should we start? Let's start with Mr.
Why don't you start off, as you've seen more than me?
Okay, I've watched it all.
Oh, well, there we go then.
Because they are quite short. I mean, the first one's 50 minutes and the rest are around 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So they are quite short. I like Zac Efron. No surprise. I know.
I'm saying nothing. I'm saying nothing.
Obviously, I like Zac Efron. But I was all ready to dislike this because I just thought... Because he's Californian. The guy he's with... No, hang on. I haven't finished.
Okay, sorry.
The guy he's with is Californian. I know what Californians are like. It's all wow, awesome, and very fake.
I think you've just taken a line out of Hamilton there, but yeah.
Oh, okay. But, very fake and over the top. So I was ready to sit there and dismiss it as just nonsense and fluff and over the top rubbish. I loved it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was entertaining. It was informative. It was very educational. I learned stuff from it. I think Zac Efron was a very good presenter, and I don't think he was just there. I think this is his idea, him and this Darren guy.
Yeah.
I think it was their idea to do this, and I think you can tell that he's actually invested in what they're talking about, and he's interested in the people they meet and the things that they're doing. And I thought it was really... I could have done with a few less wows and awesomes, because that's their default setting when anything crops up, whenever they see something bigger than a mouse. Wow, awesome. But aside from that, I thought it was really good.
I've seen the first episode, which is Iceland, and I completely agree with everything you've just said. And, with anything... Like, when we were trying to work out what is this, is it health and well-being? Is it a travel documentary? It's kind of everything with a bit of nature in there as well, because you see stunning views, and I'm sure you do in the other ones, of Iceland, of the fjords.
I've been to most of those places.
You have. You've got photos of them and everything. Yeah. I've seen Zac Efron presenting other things, and he is really a really natural presenter. I think he's a really nice person. He's not one of these people that have come out Disney and, after being in the Disney machine and has come out and, gone crazy. Yeah, I think he comes across as really nice, and I think the programme does as well.
Yeah, he does. And there's one, you wouldn't have watched it if you... I think it's near the end. One of the programmes, forget who they've just been to visit, but they're in the car driving somewhere else, and he just says, I've got to get out of Hollywood. What is the point in living there? You can't live a good life there. It's just so fake, and I just want to get out of there.
Yeah.
But if the places he goes are Iceland, France, Costa Rica, Sardinia, Lima, Puerto Rico, London, and Iquitos. They're the 8 episodes. Toby, how many have you seen?
So I've seen 6.
Very good.
Out of the 8, and I agree with both of you.
Hey!
Really, really liked it. He is a very good presenter. The other guy, I can't remember his name, is also great. I think they do have they do have a great friendship. They're both very interested in the topics. As you said, it's very informative. It's very educational. I think it's shot really well.
Yeah.
I like that you get to see the crew. I really like that it's, it kind of not breaks the fourth wall.
You feel like you're part of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not just them. You actually do see the crew, and the crew get involved, and I really like that. I learned a lot. I really want to go to Iceland now that I've seen more of it.
All right. So telling you how fabulous it is and showing you pictures, nothing. Zac Efron goes there and you can't wait to go.
Do you want to shovel now, Toby, or later?
I think it's because obviously I've literally seen it. I've seen where they went and
Cue Duncan's photo.
Do you know what I mean? I know.
I know exactly what you mean. Yes.
Sarcasm.
No, I really liked it, and I had the same kind of thing as you, Duncan. Very nice. I had the same thing as you, Duncan. I went into it thinking, why is Zac Efron doing this? Like he's he's an actor. I'm not sure why does he care about this, but anyway. So yeah, no, that I realised the only thing that I didn't like was some of the voiceovers and narration was so cliche and cringy. That's the only thing I didn't like.
I think that's aimed at the American audience.
Yeah, like it was like we're born to live. Like
that's quite good.
It's just, I just found it very cliche. But apart from that, honestly, that's the only thing I didn't like about it.
I know he says it in the documentary series. Do you think that he does want to actually come out of Hollywood and do more of this?
Yes, I do. He doesn't do that many.
I think he's thinking about it. Oh, hello, Duncan.
Yeah. Well, sorry, I didn't know if you could hear me because I was talking, but we were both talking at the same time.
Sorry.
Yes, because he doesn't do that many films now, does he?
Name his last film.
Was it The Greatest Showman, or was he well after that?
It was Scoob.
Oh, a voiceover.
Yeah,
he could do that in his sleep.
Flicker. What was it? Oh, that's who his character was. Yeah, his main biggest film was The Greatest Showman, which was last.
Yeah, so he hasn't done much, and I think that's because he's spending more time doing that, and good for him. Yeah. The one thing that did stand out, and as you work through the series, it becomes more obvious. A friend of mine pointed this out as well, is the product placement, especially for Visa. I mean, Visa obviously paid an awful lot of money to get Zac Efron to use his contactless Visa card everywhere he went.
But again, that's an American thing, though. They have...
Yes. Oh, yes.
When they make it really obvious that, this phone is by pair or something.
Yes, it was very in your face. And I think the phone as well, because he's always getting his phone out and it's one with a little pen.
Yeah, it's a Samsung one then.
Yeah.
His clothing is it VC something? VCR? Not VCR. Not VCR.
Wow.
No, most of the T-shirts he wears are the same branding, and the hat, I think.
Again, for an American though, that's not as what's the word I'm looking for? Distracting as for us, because
No, I didn't notice that.
No,
because he has to wear clothes.
Yes, that's true.
The one thing I was shocked about after I saw it on Twitter is because in a couple of the programs he gets his top off. I think in the Iceland one he does, and in another one, in the jungle one, he gets his top off as well. And personally, I thought he looked great. He still looks completely fit, but he got hammered on Twitter by people saying that was his dad bod.
No, that's a good thing.
What, having a dad bod is a good thing?
That's the new thing, is having a dad bod.
Well, the ones I was reading were saying that's a bad thing.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a good thing. Because
they were saying, look at the state of his dad bod compared to what he used to be. I thought, if that's a dad bod, give me one now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I thought a dad bod was a good thing. Because they say...
Can I just ask who's got the pet pigeon? Where is that coming from?
Tobi.
Sorry, God, I'm surprised you guys can hear that. Sorry.
Yeah, your microphone has a good thing about turning up its gain.
It can't pick up your voice, but it can pick up everything outside the window. It's incredible.
He's really annoying there. Sorry.
I thought it was outside my window.
No. I did. Honestly, I was so focused in this conversation, I didn't know what you're talking about, and then I literally just heard it. So
yeah.
Anyway, back to Zac Efron's dad bod.
Yeah, I thought it was a good thing.
Oh no, I think dad bod, as in dad movie, is a bad thing.
No, okay.
But he still looks fit. It's fine.
Thumbs up from Duncan.
A beard second only to you, Tobi, in his beardage.
How rude.
Oh, I wouldn't say mine's that good.
No, it is.
Well, it's better than Luke's. Look at Luke's.
Wow.
It's like a 12-year-old trying to buy a beard.
Luke's trimmed his.
Mine has been shaved today. That's why.
There you go.
Right. Okay.
Mine yesterday did look like Tobi's.
Okay, good for him. Anyway, so that is Down to Earth with Zac Efron.
Would recommend it.
We would highly recommend it. Yes. I mean, there's a couple of friends that I wouldn't recommend it to because I know the Americanism of it would really grate on them.
Yeah, I think if you like, you take the Americanism thing with your whatnot. But if you want to know about the environment and the purpose of life and energy and water and food, definitely watch it.
I've done some research.
Oh, good.
According to The Sun,
good. Well, this is fact then, isn't it?
65% of people say that a dad bod is attractive, while 61% said men with dad bods are very sexy.
Okay, good. All right. Anyway, yeah, all episodes are streaming now on Netflix, and hopefully there'll be a second season.
What I was going to say about it, interestingly, I confirmed this with you, that he got really well. He got really ill at the end of making the series. Like, he was in a really bad state at one point.
I did not know that.
I don't know if food poisoning. I can't remember what it was. It was obviously when he was filming it, but there's no mention of it at all.
Well, his friend Darren, who he co-presents with, is in a very bad way at the end of the show. I won't spoil it for you. No. The last episode, but something absolutely horrible happens that he nearly has to go back for home, but doesn't. He stays, but then you see what happens at the end, and horrible. Yeah,
Zach, he had typhoid fever.
I'm not surprised. He kept going to all these foreign countries. That's what happens when you go to foreign countries.
But it's weird that there's no mention of it.
No. Well, anyway, I must say, the London episode, you haven't seen that, he's picking up litter by the side of the Thames. If I'd have known he was there doing that, I would have been there with my wellies on picking up needles. Yeah. Anyway, rate it out of 10.
Well, for the episode that I saw...
well, I've only seen one episode, haven't you? Yeah.
8 or 9?
I'd say 8.
Yeah.
I would say 8.
No, look at your thumbs
up.
Thumbs up.
And an 8. Yes, very good. Okay, that's it. Down to Earth with Zac Efron. That's nearly it. Should we quickly mention, because we bothered to watch it.
We watched it. You know
what?
I mean,
it's all very well Toby saying, we'll talk about it next week. He's not in charge.
Duncan, do you know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to turn his camera off. It's just both of us now.
So Toby recommended that we watch, or suggested, that we watch Fear City, which is about New York in the 1980s and the mafia problem they had. It's 3 episodes. It's on Netflix. I've watched all 3. Luke has watched one.
Nearly one.
So your very quick thoughts on the one that you've watched.
I, like you, didn't think I was going to enjoy it, but weirdly, I'm enjoying it.
Oh.
I just find it really interesting hearing their stories and how the mafia operated in New York, and weirdly, I'm enjoying it.
I've watched all 3. I quite enjoyed it. I found that there wasn't enough new in it for it to keep me completely interested, because I've seen so many American gangster films which cover this period.
Maybe that's why I haven't.
Oh, okay. And what is odd is the gangster films that I've watched, sometimes you think that the people look a little bit like caricatures, and they sound a little bit like caricatures. Watching this, you realise, oh no, they did look like that, and they did sound like that. And that's the other strange thing. Watching this, I kept thinking, when you were listening to the tapes, the secret tapes they did, and the voices, it sounded like someone taking the mickey out of what they thought an American gangster should sound like.
When it started, I can't think of his name, but the person that's in the Barbers, and I was looking at something else, and I thought it was Robert De Niro.
Yes, one of them looks just like Robert De Niro did in The Irishman.
Yeah.
So obviously, it's not a generic look.
No.
All these films have done their research. They know what these people look like, and they cast actors who look like them. But it was interesting. I think 3 episodes was enough.
Right. Okay.
Although, given the subject matter and the amount of information they had, I'm surprised, being Netflix, it's not a 10-episode series.
Maybe they're seeing what people think of it.
Yeah.
Unless do they wrap it up at the end?
Yes, it's all wrapped up at the end.
Oh, okay, maybe not then.
And the strange thing is, growing up in the 80s, you never heard about any of this on the news over here. I don't know whether back when I was a kid, they just didn't report on foreign news much. But you just didn't hear about it.
Well, but then there's a lot of things like that. People were saying, there's lots more tornadoes and hurricanes. It's not. It's just because they're being reported more of.
Yeah, possibly.
And all these things probably happen, and just because of social media and 24-hour rolling news, you hear about everything these days.
Yeah, possibly. But it was interesting, and it's very interesting to hear the actual surveillance recordings of the gangsters in
and
their
hearing
own
both
homes.
sides of the stories.
And hearing both sides of the stories.
Is it weird, sorry, because it's real, like it's not, this all happened kind of thing?
Yes. Sorry, what was the question? Is it weird?
No, because of, like, it's all real. Like
Yes.
this did actually happen. You're like,
it's a documentary.
Shocking.
That's what
No, I know, but
I mean, it's weird to think when you watch a gangster film and they walk into a restaurant and put 3 bullets in someone's head, and that looks over the top.
But actually,
when you see actual footage of the body in the restaurant, you think, oh my God, they actually used to walk into restaurants with a machine gun and gun people down. So
it's like
it's fascinating.
One of them said, we'll talk about it in the podcast. We ain't got time.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it in the podcast.
No, we haven't got time. But anyway, it's called Fear City. Toby will watch it and he can talk about it next week.
Nice.
3 episodes, all available on Netflix now. That's it for this week. Next week, we will be talking about Upgrade, which is a film from 2 years ago that has just come to Netflix. And I reviewed it on this programme 2 years ago, but the boys will watch it for next week. Luke and Toby, thank you very much.
Thank you, Duncan.
Thank you very much, Duncan.
Like I say, back next week at the same time, 7 till 8 for another Monday Movies. Luke will be back tomorrow for another drive time from 4, and I'll be back on Sunday for another Sunday breakfast. But now with the time coming up to 8 o'clock, it's time to go over to the Sky Newsroom for the latest national and international news headlines. You're listening to Wycombe Sound online on Radio Player and on 106.6 FM. All right, and we're back in the room. Hey, that was a show, wasn't it?
Good, wasn't it? Yeah.
We had music, we had Maddie, we had Colin.
Music, Maddie and Colin.
What more could you want? The MMC.
Exactly.
It's nearly the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Nearly.
Anyway, that was a show. We'll do another one next week, but we have lots of stuff to discuss now.
Why is that?
Lots of stuff. I mean, none of it film related, obviously.
No.
Although we do know. Let's start. Let's stay on topic for a start, shall we? Let's talk films, because Cineworld have updated their website, so we know what's on. But don't get too excited, because apart from all the old films that they're still going to be showing. Although Inception 10th Anniversary Edition.
No.
10 years ago that was.
Wow.
That is on. But the only 2 new films are, let me tell you, 100% Wolf, which is kids animation, and Vigil, a new horror film, but that is only showing at 10 to 8 in the evening. So that's it for next week.
Wow.
Not good.
Not a lot.
But hopefully I will have watched Vigil, and I will have watched Proxima, so we can review that.
Nice.
Anyway, let's move on to more important things, shall we?
Yes.
The Stubmeister.
Stubby.
Do you know what a stubby is in Australia?
Yeah, I feel like we've said this before.
Oh, it's the thing that you put your can in that keeps.
Oh, yeah.
Stubby.
Yes.
Fascinating. Anyway, Toby.
Yeah.
You took to Twitter this week.
Q-tweet.
Where's the tweet?
It's on. You can't see it, but everyone else watching can.
A picture of yourself as an adorable child, holding either a microphone or an ice cream. I can't tell which.
So it's a microphone.
But
Toby's getting very worried very quickly.
What is interesting us more than the visual are the hashtags.
Okay.
So hashtag solo baby.
Yeah.
Is that reference to the picture, as in it's a baby on its own, or is that hey, solo baby?
Sorry, hang on, was that an impression of Lando Calrissian from Star Wars?
Yeah.
There you go.
Because this solo baby doesn't sound like taking a break from a group. This sounds like a acrimonious split from a group.
No. There's no split. There's no break.
Duncan, are you trying to get into 12 Hour Avenue and you want Duncan to go?
I feel like you're a journalist being like, hey, so you guys, what's going on?
Do you work for the Sun?
I'm just asking because it just seems quite final. That solo baby. At last, I'm solo. I've got rid of that waste of space who was holding me back.
I should have put
I'm on my own.
Hashtag saying side project.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is.
Hashtag Duncan go away.
All right, okay. In that case, could we just explain the acronym that's next to it? Hashtag WBOTST.
You know what that is?
We're both on the same team. That's the song.
Oh, I had no clue.
Muppet.
And you'll, I'll post something later in the month and it'll make sense why I've done that. So.
Okay.
Could you not remember the song title? The song that you really like and have kept mentioning?
Not from an acronym, no.
I did.
Thanks, Luke.
You're welcome, Toby.
Luke. But no, on a serious note, it's honestly it's a side project. It's something I've wanted to do for a very long time. It's like a personal goal thing. It's not, but we're rehearsing not next week after.
We?
Yeah,
Harry and Toby. You're not in the band, Duncan.
Oh, okay. No, I just assumed there would be no. So it's a side project alongside. It's not. You're not taking a break.
Right. Not at all. Like whether I do another solo song or not, I don't know.
What happens? Hypothetically, you release your little single. You know. and a record label comes along and they want to sign you and it all start. What happens to Harry? Do you say, no, this is just a side project, I'm part of a group?
Yeah, I'll talk to them definitely and say.
Oh, okay, so Harry's gone.
No, I'll talk to them and say.
If the A&R man comes with a check, Harry's gone. Yeah,
that's not what he said.
No,
that's such a twister.
I'll cross that bridge when I get there, but I'll say, look,
Is that the name of your new single afterwards? I'll cross that bridge when we get there.
It's a good title.
That is.
It is good.
Yeah.
It is good.
Oh, dear.
It is good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So when can we play the song again?
Oh, probably not till September, sorry.
Okay. Well, you say that like it's a long way off.
I was going to say, look how quick this is.
It's only 5 weeks away.
True.
Wow, that's quite scary.
Sorry, 4 weeks away till September. Yeah. So that's exciting.
It'll be late September.
All right.
So 8 weeks.
Okay. Well, we look forward to it because it's a very, very good. I have listened to it more than twice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well done, you.
I listen to it occasionally. Obviously, I don't know its anagram form, and I apologise for that.
Yeah,
Sorry, I don't know its acronym form. I apologise for that. Good.
No, thank you.
That's that sorted.
Okay.
It's good to know, though, that you're doing something that you wanted to do as a little kid, because the picture is of you with a microphone, wanting to be a singer.
Yeah, well, it's funny. It's like, honestly, it's just been a personal goal of mine, and it's something I thought I would never do, and I did do it. So for me, it's not me being like, look at what I can do. For me, I've kind of proved to myself, and it's a personal goal of mine that I actually can do it. I did a song all on my own, but it's not.
Yes.
It's a complete side thing from 12 Avenue. 12 Avenue is the main focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. What's your main focus, Luke?
Radio.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for Toby. Now, Duncan, I have another review to mention.
Good.
But before that...
you watched something else?
Yeah, but we couldn't mention it on the show. I didn't want to anyway.
Because Toby, he said to me, I've watched something. We can't talk about it on the show. We'll have to talk about it on the podcast. I just assumed it was porn. Exactly. Thank you. That's exactly what I said. So it's not just me.
Get your mind out of the gutter. Before that, how do people get involved and how can they email us?
They can email mondaymovies@wycombesound.org.uk or they can go to facebook.com/.
Just the email. Yeah.
Okay.
Will it be up there?
Yeah, it's up there, Toby.
Oh, okay.
It's up there. Yeah.
Up in the clouds.
Up in the clouds, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's how they contact us.
Good. Now,
send us your music. Why not? Brian did.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I was going through the channels last night, as you might do, if you're struggling to sleep, you'll find something to watch. And I came across a film, which I don't think, if it was, any other time, I wouldn't watch it. Now, the film is French, and it is called Raw, in meaning R-A-W.
Oh, good grief. That's a tough watch.
That was my reaction to the film as well. Yeah, I had to put the guide up at some points. So this film... let me read you what they got on Channel 4. A vegetarian starts to crave meat after being subjected to humiliating rituals at a veterinarian school. Now, I would imagine this has an 18 rating.
Oh, very much so. Yes.
And if not an 18 plus rating. I was introduced to this film with...
Sorry, I imagine someone knocking at your door with a DVD saying, Mr. Davis, I'd like to introduce you to this film. It's called Raw.
By somebody throwing up, but pulling hair out of their mouth, like a hairball, which was kind of disgusting. Is it raining somewhere, or is that someone driving in your... noise? That's a very weird noise. And from then on, it just gets worse, and they start eating people and causing incidents so they can eat people, and it's very...
So it's cannibalism.
It's a bit mad, and then it all ends very weirdly.
Right.
Can I just ask, of all the films available on all the platforms,
I wasn't looking
why you would pick a French horror film about cannibalism?
I don't know. It was late. It was just like 1:45. Yeah, it was really weird, but weirdly, so I've always wondered if subtitles would annoy me in a film. They did annoy me, but I don't.
They
know,
don't.
They don't. But I don't know if that again was because it was 1 o'clock in the morning. But who came up with that idea for a film? It's disgusting.
Yeah, that's weird.
It was.
Yeah, I remember not liking it very much.
No,
but it's a big a festival hit.
It was. I struggled to watch some of it because it was very raw.
Graphic.
Yeah, and like. Some of it was like there was this person with his leg, like you could see right down to the bone where they'd eaten. It was
Oof.
yeah.
So I'm very disconcerted because your mouth is moving at completely different times to the voice, and it's just very off-putting.
It's a good trick. Yeah.
Oh, actually, that's reminded me. Oh, you've got to rate that out of 10.
Weirdly, 3.
Oh, okay.
Because the acting's quite good.
Right.
The CGI, to be fair, is also quite good.
Okay, good. And how would you know about the acting and the CGI? What makes you an expert on this?
I did 3 years of film and TV.
I wonder when we had to get that in at some point, surely. But
Bingo players of Monday movies were missing that one.
Then talking of subtitle stuff, let me ask you if you can watch The Dark, because I think you'll really enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's only 3 seasons.
Right.
We're on the last 2 episodes. It's really good.
Okay.
And also on BBC 4, talking of French stuff, they started a new series. It's only 6 parts called The Last Wave, which we've watched the first episode of, and it's very intriguing. It's set by the French coast. A surfing competition is about to start. 11 surfers go into the sea. A giant cloud descends onto the beach. The surfers disappear and then reappear in the sea 5 hours later, but something about them has changed.
Oh.
We've only watched the first episode, but very intriguing.
Sounds good.
And the good thing, because there's so much foreign stuff on Netflix and Amazon and stuff like that, but you kind of know if Channel 4 or BBC have bought a foreign series, you know it's been sort of quality checked, and you know it should be quite good. So yeah, it was quite good. It's called The Last Wave, and it's on iPlayer.
Very nice. My other half, Amy, watched a documentary about Andrew Lloyd Webber the other day and thoroughly enjoyed it. So that's available on iPlayer now. I don't know how long
In her wheelhouse, that one though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean that is in her world.
That is, yeah.
But that.
Do you know what it's called?
No, I don't, because I only caught the ending of it. But I think it was a couple of years ago, so it's been on iPlayer for a little while. But it was one of their. I think it's BBC 4's sort of.
Isn't it Imagine?
I think it is Imagine. I was just about to say that.
It's an episode of Imagine with Alan Yentob.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's very good. You've got 21 days if you want to see it, though.
I will.
Good. It's very good. And obviously it goes up to sort of around about the ending of 2018. So the Drury Lane is just starting to be made over and things like that. So obviously you don't get any of the coronavirus stuff.
Okay. Good. So that's lots of things for people to watch.
Yes.
So next week, Toby will have watched Fear City. And we can
we've
discuss
forgotten
that.
something.
Yeah.
What have we forgotten?
Duncan,
Yeah.
you need to ask Toby what he thought of Peter Gabriel's music.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
See, you did it off air and you forgot about
Completely forgot. So you were going to listen to the couple of Peter Gabriel albums that I recommended, or I just wanted your opinion because they're quite drum heavy, I thought.
I agree. The I've forgotten what the album's called now.
Melt and Security.
Thank you. Melt more than Security. I found, but
Security is more world music as well, isn't it?
But I felt the drums are very prominent of the music, prominent part of the music, and I did really enjoy it. And it's funny because the only song I really know is Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel. I haven't really.
Did you not recognise Games Without Frontiers?
Not really.
Is Salisbury Hill on those two?
No, that's on the one before.
Oh, okay.
But no, I did like the albums. I do. Peter Gabriel was a really good musician. But yeah, the drums, I really did appreciate the drums.
Interesting, the drums on Melt are played by Phil Collins.
Ah, there you go.
There we go.
And backing vocals on Games Without Frontiers, Kate Bush.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Toby, Luke, what did you think of them?
I pre-listened to them already because I'm like you. I like Peter Gabriel. He's just very good. He's a very legendary musician.
Yes, yes. And one of his tracks, which I'd hardly ever heard, and I didn't. It's on an album that I haven't listened to much called "Scratch My Back," where if you haven't listened to it, he asked a group of other artists if he could record their songs for an album, and then they would all record one of his songs for a separate album.
Yep.
So the first album is called Scratch My Back, which is him doing their songs. And the second album is called I'll Scratch Yours, which is them doing his songs.
Very clever.
And the penultimate episode of season 2 of Dark, they play the whole of the song, which is called, I think it's called I'm in a Cage. And it's
what's the song called?
And it's originally by, I'm going to have to, because I thought Tobi will have known this okay, let's talk amongst yourselves.
Hello.
Hello.
You said talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, I see. He made a joke and we didn't get it. Sorry.
I see. Okay. Well, I was too busy. My Body is a Cage. Now, who sang that?
No idea.
Oh, you're the musician. You're a musician.
Tobi.
What is a cage?
My Body is a Cage, which was originally sung by. Oh, grief. Come on.
TikTok.
My Body is a Cage. Arcade Fire.
Oh, okay. I haven't actually...
From their album Neon Bible.
Right, okay.
And he does
actually listened to that much Arcade Fire.
Okay, he does a stripped back version, and they played the whole of the song during the last episode, and it's made me revisit the Scratch My Back album, which is he does Heroes by David Bowie, The Boy in the Bubble, but all very, very different versions than you'd normally hear. But yeah, very good.
And Tobi, what did you think of Another Skies Fell in Love with the City, which was last week's Single of the Week, or 2 weeks ago probably now?
Yeah, good tune. Really
I'd never heard of them before.
No, nor have I.
No.
Well, this is their debut album, I think.
Yes.
Actually, I think is it just come out or it comes out this Friday?
I think it comes out this Friday, I think.
Yeah. No, it's
good.
good.
Very good.
I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's all fascinating stuff.
Look at us. Music, films, all inside this podcast.
Yeah. Let's do it all again next week. And our main review, well, Proxima will be reviewing, hopefully, The Vigil, but the one that we're all three going to review is Upgrade, which is a theatrical release from a couple of years ago. I'm pretty sure it was in my top 10 of that year.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure you're both going to enjoy it as much as you enjoyed Searching.
Right, okay.
Good.
So similar concept then?
No, nothing, not similar concept at all.
Oh.
I just think you'll enjoy it the same amount.
Same amounts. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Look at this.
Until next week. Farewell, my friends.
Farewell.
See you later.
Bye.
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 Get out.